Yeah, my balance disappeared on my EBT card. I am at the register. Did this happen to anybody else? I just looked at the transactions. It says that something was deposited, but it's gone.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350.
So if you didn't already, food stamps was just canceled, and millions of people are left out there without knowing how they're gonna get their next meal. So in this video, let's talk about that.
This morning I called my local DSS office and I asked them to confirm whether or not what I was hearing was true, knowing it was true, that SNAP benefits are not coming next month. And she said, yeah, no, you're right, they're not coming. I said, okay, well, I hadn't heard anything, confirming what I'm hearing, so I was just calling to check. And she said, you're not going to hear anything. And I said, well, why? And she said, well, your local DSS are trying to figure out what's going on, but the state DSS is not planning on telling anybody what's going on. They're not planning on letting the citizens know that they're not going to get their food stamps next month. She also said that this would likely go on into December, that we will likely not get December's SNAP benefits. So that's great. That's lovely. So I'm coming to TikTok in hopes that there is an answer here. I don't know what the answer could be. I don't know what the solution could be. I don't know if is it mutual aid? Is it mutual aid? Do we all need to come together and start pooling our money and help these families like myself, like my mother, like my grandmother, who don't have the money to replace those benefits, who don't have the income to replace those benefits? What do we do? Because there are children, there are elderly, there are disabled people who do not have the money. And I have 3 children. And I have to feed them. The last time I came on here and talked to you guys about the SNAP benefits, I was full on crashing out. I'm not crashing out this time. I'm scared, but I'm fucking angry. This time I'm angry. And I will not just sit here and mope and cry about it. I will not sit here and just panic and sit in the floor and scream and cry this time. This time we need a plan. We need something that we can do together to figure this out. If you know of any creators, any organizations that are pulling stuff together and are trying to figure out what's going on, help me. Send them my way, or send me their way, because we have too many people in this country to let starve.
It really sucks for the people that actually need the food stamps. Because there were so many people out there taking advantage of it, it ruined it for the people that actually needed the help. There's so many people out there that are able-bodied adults that are fully capable of getting up and going to work who just choose not to. While on the other hand, there's people out there who struggle on a daily, working 2 jobs and still can't afford to put food on the table. It really does suck for the people that actually need help. But for the people that have been taking advantage of it, this is good, because now they can finally get up and go work for themselves.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay, I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country, because I'm not dealing with this no more. This is all shit.
Working 50 to 60 hours a week is what an able-bodied adult should be doing. That right there is the problem. There's too many people out there who choose not to work because they got so used to getting the assistance. He said he'd rather sit around and hang out with his kids over going to work so he can pay bills. But last time I remembered, kids have to go to school. So when they're at school, what are you doing all day? If you as an able-bodied adult don't want to go to work, then you don't need food stamps. Food stamps are for people that actually need help. For those people who's out there actually trying and it's not working. Not for people who just want to sit around all day and take advantage of it.
Yeah, my balance disappeared on my EBT card. I am at the register. Did this happen to anybody else? I just looked at the transactions. It says that something was deposited, but it's gone. This happened to anybody else, or are we the only ones, or are we tripping?
I am so irritated with this whole work requirement thing for food stamps for many reasons. One, child care subsidy has a waiting list. So basically your whole entire check goes to child care. And by the time you finish paying your rent, your electric, your gas, your car insurance, getting all the stuff for the house like the toilet paper, you are stinking broke, right? Child care is like $250 a week per kid. Also, you know, I don't get food stamps, but there is no way that I will be able to pull that off. That's why I try to help, was trying to help so many moms get work from home jobs, like in the evening, like I do, because there's no way, there would be no way that I could pay for my 3 disabled kids to go to child care or after school care. So with able-bodied people, they can get food stamps 36 months, but they have to work a mandatory amount of hours, right? Basically, you got 3 years to get your life together and find another job. But what if you don't have the brain capacity? Like, a lot of people have learning disabilities and all they can do is work at McDonald's. I have a friend that is like 2 points above being intellectually disabled on her psychological evaluation, and she can't get Social Security. But I don't foresee her being an RN anytime soon. She has worked at Chick-fil-A since our junior year of high school. She never had any kids or anything, but I don't know how people are gonna do it, but all of it is just too sad. And people literally get a rise out of it. They get a rise out of people getting ready to go hungry.
So if you're somebody who's able-bodied, then you should be able to go to work and work for yourself. Now, if you're legally disabled or elderly, then that's a different story. But the problem is there's way too many people out there taking advantage of it who are actually able-bodied, who just choose not to do anything. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of people just got comfortable with getting the assistance that they don't know anything else. It's not that they can't learn or have a learning disability, it's just that they choose not to. And this isn't saying everybody's like that, but there is a lot of people out there that are.
So I'm going to speak on the topic of the food stamps that, everybody posted about. A lot of single parents, they are upset about it because their food stamps have been. This is just my think piece on it because, like I said, it doesn't have anything to do with who voted for who. But this has been my mindset since my early 20s. Now, I am not no better than any other single mother out there. My kids are now grown. They're about to be 21 and 19. I just turned 40 this. I was on food stamps and I was on section. The thing about it is I worked as a CNA full-time and I still qualified for those assists. Now, let's rewind the clock back. When I was getting food stamps, Section 8, and my daughter was also getting SSI because as an infant, she was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension. So my daughter was getting a check. I had just moved to the code. And I think, after me and my neighbor, was having conversations and I told her about my daughter getting SSI. And you know what the first thing that she said that came out of her mouth? She was like, well, if she getting SSI and you on Section 8, you getting food stamps, why are you working? Now, this was my think piece in my early 20s. I said, because the government can take that stuff anytime they get ready. They can cut her check off anytime they get ready. They can cut the Section 8 off at any time when they get ready. They cut the food stamps off at any time when they get ready. So me, I always held down a job. Now, yes, like I said, I was that parent with no support system. I was working night shift at the hospital. And my kids, when they got a certain age, because I lived 2 minutes away from the hospital, they was at home by themselves at night. Call me what you want. I don't give a damn, but I did what I had to. And on my lunch breaks, I would come and check on them. They was in bed. They got themselves off to school. Now, I'm not in any way saying that was okay for me to do, but I did what I had to do. Me working night freed up time in the daytime. If they got sick at school, all they had to do was call me. I can go get them. If my kids had appointments or if I had doctor's appointments, I could just take them. I don't have to take off of work or none of that. So I'm not promoting leave your kids at home. We always latchkey kids coming up. But what I'm saying is, as parents, we gonna do what we have to do to survive. So y'all out there, I know it's jobs out there. Like I said, I ain't judging because I had got the assistance, but I have always. And there are so many ways of getting a bag. By me working as a CNA for as long as I have been working, and I started TikTok Shop back in 2023 when it first started. When I say TikTok shop, not only was I able to completely just pay my bills and my checks just be my checks, because yes, I still work that. It has helped me put my daughter through school. Now I know we're still on probation with TikTok, and I'm gonna grind it out until I can't grind it out no more. But I'm just here to say, y'all do what y'all gotta do for y'all kids. You know, go to work, try to find a work from home job. I know it's not gonna be easy, especially for work from home jobs, but there are options.
So many people out there aren't willing to do what they have to do to survive. A lot of people rather just be comfortable and stay where they're at. For those people who are comfortable where they're at, they're not willing to make those sacrifices. So most of the time, they're just going to complain rather than change. Like I said before, if you're an able-bodied adult, you should be able to work for yourself so you can support your family. Even as somebody getting food stamps, if you're able-bodied, you should be able to go to work. Now I'm going to end the video right here, but I do want to know what you guys think about this. Do you agree with everything the government is doing right now? Or do you think this is just another recipe for disaster? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments section. As for the video, this was the end, so if you enjoyed this one, make sure you leave a like on it, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too so you can stay tuned for the next upload. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.